TV show that will give you empowerment, inspiration, and definitely motivation. It's here to inspire you to be the better version of yourself. The Power of Your Voice is a platform that is going to inspire you to tap into your power that you hold, the purpose that you hold, and the mission that you are truly here in the mind to do. It's going to help you acknowledge who you are, what you are, and who you should become. Power. The power of worth, elevation, evolving, resistance, respect. I push through the pain to get to the power. I keep going to get this power. I knew that it was given to me by grace and to know my purpose. You get pushed through this pain to get to this power. That tends to give a divine scar, but the power gives you reinforcement. Pushing past the pain to let your voice be heard. Pushing past your fears to let your voice be heard. How much faith do you know to overcome your fears? You have blessing to someone to hear. There's a message in your words. There's a power in your voice. Keep pushing through your pain to keep that power. I keep my faith over fear to have the power in my voice to be heard. You have the power. You are resilient and you have the strength. Your voice is powerful and you need to know that you're powerful. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power, which is the power in your voice. Use it to stand by grace. Use it to know your worth. And use it to be ready to show your knowledge. The power in your voice. A platform to redefine, which is inspiring, which is impeccable to give you knowledge, and which is a place for you to grow, to be walking in your purpose, and being very amazing. The power in your voice. Hold on to that. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Power in Your Voice. I am your host, Sheena Gould, better known as the lady behind the mask. As always, we are here to educate, motivate, and inspire. And today we have the phenomenal, the amazing Cindy Gould. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, so I'm gonna let her simply pronounce her name. So, how you doing today, Cindy? I think she might have frozen on me, guys. How's everybody doing today? Cindy, are you there with me? You froze.
I know. It said that you weren't here for a minute. I'm like, where did she
Yeah, I
go?
don't know. I was here. It was freezing you. I don't know what. See, told you. I don't know what's going on, but we were here. But hi, Cindy. How are you?
I'm so great. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for
that
having
is
me. Beautiful.
it is amazing. It's always to have phenomenal Cindy in the building. So, can you introduce yourself to the people that is watching now and that will watch and listen later?
Yes, yes, yes. My name is Cindy Gould, and I am here with the beautiful Shigadine, which I'm so happy to be here. I am, golly, I am a breakthrough coach and a victorious life strategist. And what that means is wherever you're stuck in your life, I help you figure out who you are, why you're here, what you're going to do about it. And then we create victory in every area of your life. I hold a mirror in front of you, remind you that you are the hero of your own story and that you got this, baby. And I stand right there with you and help you get there.
Yes, it is always a pleasure to, you see that she has that contagious spirit that just wants you to have victory. So tell me, since you're the victory coach, we have the victory network. Tell
Yeah.
me, what does victory mean to you? And how
Oh,
did you get there?
oh my gosh. Well, golly, which part do I start, right? For
Yes.
me, uh, so victory is the ultimate price of joy. And so for me, it's really joy isn't like isn't something that you just create. Like happiness, you create happy moments, you do happy things. Joy is a hum that's in your life, and it's a consistent hum. And so one of the things for me is, a little bit about my story and how I got to that constant joy. And I've been pretty blessed in my life that no matter what, I've been very aware that the joy in in the Lord is my strength. And so for me, it's been a really faith-driven piece. And there have been parts in my life and seasons in my life where I've had to really dive into that faith, because I was literally in the land of stuck in the land of suck, as you've been there. I mean, I'll go back even to just one portion of my story is April of 2021. I joined the Neuroencoding Institute with the phenomenal Joseph McClendon III. And what I love about neuroencoding is it's just a process that Joseph came, over 35 years of doing what he does as an ultimate performance coach, came up with a way and a method. And it's actually taking in Romans, we have the renew your mind, right? The scripture. And we know that the neurons that fire together, wire together. And so it's really a way of programming, like putting almost science to the scripture, of programming your mind, your nervous system, even your heart, because as a man thinketh in his heart, right? So is he. And really programming it so that you default to your best choices, which is so great. And that way it helps you, right, to be in alignment with your assignment and to walk out what God's purposed you to do. So for me, in April, I joined that. 2 weeks later, I moved out. Marriage, which it didn't really have anything to do with that, but it was just interesting timing. It was already out and, kind of coming to that. And then, fast forward to August of 2021, and actually the end of July, and one of my beautiful children, my sweet son, Mana, he was 36 with 5 beautiful babies and a spectacular wife. And he became ill at the end of July, unexpectedly. He had actually, Sheena, he had never even had a cold as a kid,
wow,
no, nothing. And this beautiful, big Hawaiian loving man, my baby he's always, our babies are always babies to us, right? Became sick, and 2 weeks later, August 7th of 2021, it's almost been 3 years. He moved back home to heaven unexpectedly. And from that moment through March of 2022, so for 7 months, I had, 8 loved ones, including my son, my father, one of my cousins who was like a brother to me, 2 of my best friends, one that was of 20 years, one of 5. Each one of them unexpectedly moved back home to heaven. Like none of them were sick for long periods of time, any of that. It was just, this happened, and my divorce was final, right? Which, whatever. And so in those situations, as you know from your own life, it's either sink or swim, right? And I literally in January, in the midst of several, my cousin had just been put on a ventilator. He was just vented, and I had flown down to Dallas to be with him, which I was so grateful that I had the privilege of being with him while he was awake, right? I didn't get to say goodbye to my son. So that was such a cherished time for me that I got to do that. But I was literally on the beach. I flew back home. I flew into Portland first, and I had been actually in Portland at Cannon Beach during that time. And so I had left my car actually at the Portland airport. So I flew in and I went back to the beach, and I know. And I just spent some time with God, and I just, and I don't know about you, because you've had a lot of plot twists in your life, I know, right? And
yes.
You're a writer, so for me, plot twists are appropriate for you.
Listen, that's the correct term we'll use.
Right. But you know what? I want to just let anybody who's listening know that it's totally cool. Just like your kids vent to you, it's totally cool to vent to God. I literally stood there on the beach like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? I wasn't And I was just kind of like blindsided by this recent one. By then, my son, my best friend, and auntie, another loved one, my father, and my divorce were all final from August to January. So by that time, I'd already, clocked in a lot of that awful mileage. And you know what? I finally got to a place where I was done um, venting. And then I asked a few questions of God, and from that moment, I was able to even tap into, it was ironic. Look at the timing. I mean, I joined neurocoding where I could learn how to do that, right?
Mhm.
And then all this happened. Look at the things. And basically, what God actually said to me was, my love for you, sweetheart, is deeper than this ocean. And I'm standing at the ocean. And usually at the beach it's packed, right? There
Mhm.
was nobody,
Nobody there.
nobody. And I was standing there, and and very deliberately and very clearly, keep your eyes on me no matter what, and I've got you. And even in my moments of standing there and knowing nobody was physically there, I knew I wasn't alone. Like, I was not. And so that doesn't mean it's not tough, as you know.
Right.
We just talked about that before we went live, right?
Right.
Things happen.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it's not tough. It just means that when I tap into the right frequency, like when you change the channel and watch the right programming, just take your remote, point and click, then joy is there. And then as I continue to walk it out and make gratitude the method, right? Golly, then victory's there, no matter what,
Right.
right? And then you're coming from a place of victory and not striving for it.
Absolutely. And those are amazing things, like, because like you said, it's a lot on timing. And I think sometimes people might be afraid to vent
Yeah,
instead of,
yeah,
like, oh, should I say that? But you got to have that conversation because you do get frustrated with life. Like you said, it has a lot of plot twists. So when those plot twists come, it's like, whoa, sometimes in this life, it can feel like a double, triple, or
yeah,
quadruple whammy. And
yes,
it's like, it's like, how can I respond to that without responding in the wrong way?
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
So I get everything of what you're saying, especially how you saying, you was just in the class and learning how to tap into these other avenues of our mental and mind, to
right.
elevate to those other levels, because not everybody can do it, you
Mm,
know, and not everybody, knows how to get to their full potential or knows
right,
how to walk into their victory.
mhm,
They're still trying to find themselves and still trying to find the victory and
right,
still trying to find their journey.
right.
So, as a victory coach, what's a message that you would give to someone out there that may be lost or trying to figure it out or trying to navigate it all, shall I say?
Right. Well, one of the things that will really help get you back to, I would say back to victory, because just the fact that you woke up today is a victory,
Victory.
right? Just, I mean, Sheena, just looking at you, right? Knowing you're so big, right? The fact that
Right.
not only that you woke up, but your hair is on point, and that you're right.
Well, you got to show up. You got to show
That's
up. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's
So,
right. I mean, but all of that, right? But you're exuding joy.
right.
That is manufactured. That is it. And the way that that happens, though, in your life, for me, and one of the first things, like when you climb on my team and I start working with you, there's a couple of things that are mandatory, and one of them is we get into identity. We figure out who you are, and you figure it out and
Hmm.
connect you to that, because we've had so many opportunities in our life to disconnect, and it's easier to coast, because to let me
Hmm.
not connect to that, right?
Right.
But as you think, so you feel. As you feel, so you do. As you do, so you have. So we work in here first. One of the biggest things with that too, and that I love is I help you to rehearse your victories, like, like David did, right, in the Bible. And hey, I knocked out that bear, I slayed that lion, I did that. So we walk through your victories, and every day. So for me, I have a process. The minute I wake up, my eyes aren't even open yet, I'm already thanking God. Woohoo! Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And people joke around because they hear me say this a lot, but I do this every day. I thank God for my cinnamon Melaleuca toothpaste. And the reason why is we've all dollar stored the toothpaste. Some of you still
Right.
do, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that I have cinnamon toothpaste that has essential oils in it, and I'm grateful for it, right?
Right.
But all of those little things, today when I was getting dressed, we do Zoom. We're living in the Zoom and in the StreamYard, and
Mm-hmm.
world out. But I still put perfume on every time I climb on a camera. I
Mm-hmm.
know, but it puts me in a place. You see, there you go, girl. Right? You get it. It puts me in a place. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain things, but what that does is everything operates on a frequency. We're electric
Right.
beings. That's a fact. Everything you see, everything operates from a field. And whatever you're going to magnetize into your life is sitting out there waiting for you. And you can magnetize, that you walk out of
Mm-hmm.
the house all grumpy, fussing at your kids, mad at your man, all you best believe you are magnetizing a grumpy
All
day.
that negative energy.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right. And that
Because
is
it's
not living in victory.
no. Because it's like once it starts, it's just everything's just bad.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even down to, just even your pets, or all of it. So
Right.
those are some of the things though that I would, and reminding you of, I put a mirror there, and we do a mirror exercise, once or twice a day, and reminding you, like, I can tell you, Sheena, you're spectacular, you're beautiful, you're a freaking rock star. Like, it's such an honor for me to be in your space all the times I get to be, because I have a special love for you, right? And I can tell you that. But you telling you
Right.
that, I mean,
Right.
you might believe me, and you've been around me enough. Yeah, I can trust Cindy. Yeah, but she doesn't know this, or yeah, but she hasn't seen this. But you standing in a mirror and you saying it to you, you believe you, good, bad, or ugly, you believe you, right?
Right. And that is a perfect example because as I was going through my what did you call it, my challenges, my plot
Yeah,
situations in
yeah, your
life,
plot twist and challenge
you know
opportunities.
opportunities, all those things that I turned my pain into purpose, you
100%,
know
100%.
those are things that I did do, getting in front of the mirror and giving myself that glory and putting myself in another mindset. It helps with the mindset change, you
Yep,
know. And you
yep.
saying that, like, I remember doing a workshop and, I told her, because, she was, how you've ever dealt with a person that just, I guess they're always negative about themselves. Like they don't have
Yes,
nothing positive to say about themselves. And like she was going to
yes,
therapy. And I said a conversation to her. I was like, maybe try, saying the affirmations and stuff. And
yes.
she was like, it didn't work for her. And I'm just like, well, like, wow. And then and then it couldn't give her a scripture because she was an atheist. So it was just like, yeah, it was one of those moments. It was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep, what I'm gonna just keep praying that it presses on you,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
I can't give it to you. You gotta want it,
That's right.
So, but we have these challenging people. Sometimes and we gotta understand that everybody you can't help,
That's right.
and
Well, and they have to want to be
they
helped.
gotta want to be helped
That's
on
right.
top of it,
Because there's a secondary gain sometimes. Like, for
right?
instance, if you're working with somebody that's mass depressed, and I know you do workshops and you go in to, like centers for women and with the abuse and all of that, and they're already programmed that when I'm mopey and depressed, I have a lot of attention. People are,
Hmm.
what's wrong, Sheena? How can I
Right.
help? Oh my gosh, whatever. What When you're programmed that way, it's hard to imagine what happens when everything's going great? Will people not care
Right.
about you anymore?
Right.
Right? And there's that secondary gain that they get, and it's really helping them to heal. One of the things with your atheist friend, or client or whatever, God's words don't return void. So when
Right.
you give it, now that we have all these versions of the Bible, meaning, we got it's
Mhm.
funny because I listened to, I'm Hawaiian, well, I'm Sicilian, but I saw a pidgin English version of the Bible. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? It's so funny. But what's so great is this: if you take specific scripture and you use it, his words aren't going to return void. So even giving her the right words, she won't even know how miraculously her life is
Right.
changing until somebody else swoops in, waters that seed,
Right.
and then, shares their testimony again, right? As you know.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So, your coach, you
Yeah.
have all these marvelous networks. What's next for Cindy? Like,
Oh
you're a woman with many hats and you travel all around the world.
my. I'm really excited. I do a lot of public speaking nationally, internationally, which I'm excited about. I've got some trips coming up, and that I'm pretty stoked about as well, outside of the country, which to be announced. But
Cindy's world tour.
yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you. But one of the things I'm really excited about is being a part of this book project, right?
Yes.
Yes, and also being a part of the magazine also, and turning pain into purpose. And I have, yes, I do also have a women's group coming up, so stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss the opportunity to join this. It's going to be a total just fun and amazing and life-changing experience for any of you women that join us. But the book itself, one of the things that when I had that conversation on the beach, I I was I don't know if worried. I was concerned because I'm like, okay, I have, like 9 grandbabies. I've got my children. I have 3 in heaven, 3 here. So I mean, I'm like, okay, I've got all this, and how am I going to show up? Plus my business, right? And I said, God, how do we basically repurpose all of this? And that from your own, like, you've created poetry and books and children's books and stuff out of, right? And I think the biggest thing was I had to learn how to just surrender and say, okay, here it is. I would really love to have you fashion this beautiful lumps of clay into some beautiful, beautiful pieces of pottery, but just,
Right.
you buy, I'll fly, God. That was kind of my attitude. You buy, I'll fly, Lord. So, but that's my TV show. I'm so grateful for that. And Create Your Victorious Life. Yay. And you've been on it. And now that people have seen Sheena on it, they're wanting her on their shows, which I'm stoked about. And, yep. And my new podcast is coming out in July, which I'm stoked about. And I have a phenomenal coach for that, Johnny Pardo. And I've just been really blessed, and I'm so grateful,
And all I can say is continue to elevate. Congratulations. Like, it's like every time I look, I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I'm right back here rooting for Cindy. Like, yes, that's my girl right there. Yep. Listen, she everywhere, and y'all better catch her or catch flights with her. I'm telling you, tap in.
Thank you.
So, is there any last words that you would like to share with the audience before you leave?
Yeah, each one of us has a purpose. Everybody does. And you can either, and you're not in alignment with your assignment when things aren't falling into place. It doesn't mean you don't have pushback, right? Because our opponent doesn't want us to do the things that we're doing that bring the joy and the goodness. But when things are in alignment, when you've got that constant hum. So I would just invite you to lean into that, and to lean into this question: what do you have to believe? Like, what do you have to believe to create your victorious life? What do you have to believe to create victory in your life? And I challenge you to just pick one area that you want to master and have victory in. Just one. You don't have to eat the whole enchilada, right? It's not Taco Tuesday. Today's Monday. So just
Right.
pick one. Just pick one, and fly with it. And if you need any help, hit me up. Like, message me. I answer my own messages. So message me, and we'll see. Join the Victory Network,
Right. Can you tell them how to connect with you, how to find you, all
Yes,
those beautiful things?
all the beautiful things. The Victory Network, and that's what it's called, on Facebook, is a great place. Just send me an invite. I'll approve you. And or Cindy Gould on Facebook. Create Your Victorious Life on the Zingo TV is the name of the TV show, as well as Victorious Living with Cindy on Instagram.
See, I told y'all she is just victorious everywhere. I'm telling y'all, see? I told you at the beginning of the show. Cindy, it's always a pleasure to have your phenomenal spirit in the building. You have dropped some gems. You have gave them some tools. And if y'all need more coaching, TV, all the et ceteras, marketing, she's your girl. I'm telling you, hashtag reach out to Cindy, catching flights. I'm telling you. All right. As always, it's been a pleasure having you here. Our doors are always open. It's always here to give you the platform to share, to educate, to motivate. As always, this have been your girl, Sheena Goodine, better known as the lady behind the mask. You can find me at Sheena Goodine on Facebook. You can find me at Lady Behind the Mask 22 on Instagram. You can find me at SheenaUnmaskedMotivation.com for all the books, conversation, and education. I am here. I love y'all. Y'all have a grand day, and I'll catch y'all next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Not anymore. My toxicness will stop me from loving myself or trusting others in my peaceful place. Not anymore. My lack of post-trauma is going to stop me from my future growth. Yes, not anymore. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm overcoming. I know I'm a positive. I know I'm loved. And yes, not anymore. I'm dope. Dedicated to other people's empowerment. I love my dopeness, and so should you.